In the year 1205, the Languedoc region of Western Europe became ground zero for a catastrophic military campaign. The papacy authorized the Waldensian Crusade, launching the first internal holy war within Western Europe to crush a theological rebellion. When papal forces breached the walls of Béziers, they slaughtered citizens seeking asylum. The Crusade's commander defined the doctrine driving this slaughter. Asked how to distinguish heretics from Catholics, he replied, "Kill them all, God will know his own." Over 10,000 died. The official justification for this extreme violence was the absolute eradication of a sect known as the Cathars, a group whose beliefs were deemed a terminal threat to Christendom. The massacre at Béziers proved the Roman Catholic Church was prepared to deploy apocalyptic violence to purge existential theological threats from within its own borders. 3 decades later, in the 1230s, the military phase of the Crusades began to fade. In its place, the papacy formalized the legal and bureaucratic machinery of the Inquisition, pivoting its systemic violence toward a completely different target, the Waldensians. Unlike the Cathars, the Waldensians held strictly Orthodox Catholic theology. They believed in the same sacraments, the same scripture, and the same God as the Pope. For decades, the Waldensians had actually functioned as the Church's most effective grassroots countermeasure against the spread of Catharism. This creates a historical puzzle. Why would the Church turn its most terrifying weapons against the very group that shared its own theology? To understand the reasoning behind this suppression, we have to deconstruct the tripartite war of theology, language, and power that destabilized 12th century France. The Cathar religion operated on a foundational axiom imported from Eastern European bogomilism, known as Gnostic dualism. Dualism splits reality. The physical realm is sinful, while the spiritual is pure. If matter is evil, God taking flesh becomes a logical impossibility. Because Jesus could not be physical, he could not suffer, completely severing the connection between his death and human salvation. Following this logic to its conclusion, all Catholic sacraments that rely on the physical world, including the water of baptism, the bread of the Eucharist, and the physical union of marriage, are completely invalidated. This strict belief system dictated extreme behavioral limits. Cathar leaders, known as the Perfecti, enforced mandatory celibacy and veganism to avoid any participation in physical procreation. Orthodox Catholic theology relies entirely on the physical, suffering humanity of Jesus as the precise mechanism of universal salvation. Catharism was a fundamental break from this structure. It offered an alternative understanding of the universe that rejected the core tenets of the Roman Church. Following the Gregorian reforms of the late 11th century, the Catholic Church underwent intense internal restructuring. The papacy centralized its authority, tightened anti-simony laws to prevent the buying of church offices, and enforced clerical celibacy to purify the institution. But these reforms contained a critical oversight. The Church entirely failed to structurally educate the lay population on the actual mechanics of their faith. All religious texts and liturgies were strictly enforced in Latin. As a result, less than 2% of the population was functionally literate enough to understand the scripture read to them. This diagram shows the resulting systemic vulnerability. A massive, uneducated laity sits at the bottom, cut off from the theological knowledge of the clerical elite by a dense language barrier of Latin exclusivity. Cathar missionaries recognized and exploited this bottleneck. They translated their Latin worship manuals into the local dialects, spreading their dualist theology directly to an audience desperate for spiritual meaning. By cloaking Orthodox faith in linguistic secrecy to protect its sanctity, the Church created a vacuum where heretical doctrines thrived unopposed. Into this vacuum stepped Valdez and his followers, known as the Poor of Leon. They emerged as a grassroots response to the spreading Cathar influence. Their methodology was direct. They adopted a vow of strict apostolic poverty and walked from town to town, sending missionaries out in pairs. Looking at the demographic structure again, we can see their most effective tactic. They bypassed the Latin barrier entirely, teaching strict Catholic orthodoxy directly from the Bible in Provençal, the language of the common people. The movement gained serious intellectual rigor when a French Catholic scholar named Durand of Huesca joined their ranks. Durand authored the Liber Anti-Heresis, a highly developed theological manual specifically designed to counter Cathar dualism point by point. Armed with this text, Waldensians engaged in vernacular debate. They successfully dismantled Cathar arguments in the public square, actively halting the heresy's expansion among the middle class. Many local Catholic bishops quietly favored the Waldensians. They were successfully performing the precise anti-heresy work the ordained clergy could not achieve on their own. The Waldensians demonstrated that translating the faith into the language of the people could reach the population in ways the Latin-speaking clergy could not. However, this success required unordained lay people to preach, a direct violation of the Church's strict hierarchical boundaries. We can map this conflict by plotting these three factions on a tripartite matrix across three axes: theology, language, and authority. The Catholic Church plots high on Orthodox theology, but is locked in to Latin exclusivity and rigid institutional authority. The Cathars plot effectively on vernacular delivery, but carry a fatally heretical dualist theology and anti-institutional stance. The Waldensians occupy the most dangerous position. They possess orthodox theology and highly effective vernacular delivery, but completely lack formal institutional authorization. The papacy reacted aggressively to the Waldensian position. Despite perfect theological alignment, the act of unordained preaching was viewed as an unforgivable usurpation of clerical power. Valdez was officially branded a schismatic, and his Orthodox followers were excommunicated by the Roman Church. By the year 1229, following decades of brutal military crusades, the physical infrastructure of the Cathar heresy was finally contained. With the primary threat neutralized, the papacy standardized its response. By 1250, widely distributed manuals of operation formally established the Inquisition across the empire. The Inquisition then redirected its terrifying bureaucratic machinery toward hunting down the Waldensians, systematically executing them simply for the crime of unauthorized preaching. In its desperate bid to maintain an absolute monopoly over the mechanics of salvation, the medieval Catholic Church chose to annihilate the very movement that had fought the hardest to defend its theology.